So getting started today is going to be all about power. Yes, last episode I mentioned to you guys power is what we're going to be doing today. And no joke, we're getting into some power. We're going to be generating quite a bit of power. And it shouldn't honestly take us a whole lot to set this up. I'm going to go through step by step on how you can set this up too if you have this mod unlocked, if you have RF tools unlocked. And this could be one of the best ways to generate power, honestly, in this pack. And it is incredibly simple. And honestly, it's pretty cheap. Let's take a look at some of the things that we're going to need. So we're going to be setting up an endergenic generator. So all you need is a little bit of redstone, pearl injector, 4 endergenic generators. You need a timer, 6 sequencers, and then 5 ender monitors. I believe this is all you need, if I remember correctly, because I'm kind of like laying it out in my head and trying to remember what all the pieces I needed for this. But the hard part is figuring out where am I going to put this thing. Because I want it close to this, because we're going to talk about how we're going to be getting ender pearls. So I want it close to this because this is going to be generating those ender pearls for us. So how am I going to do this? I'm thinking about making a little room back behind this so this glass will be able to see into it. Or actually, you know what? I'm probably going to I might put it in the floor here. Yeah, I think it's going to go on the floor because I do need access to it, because I do want to interface into this right here. And I still want this to produce power. I want our whole system to be connected and using power. So yeah, that's probably what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and dig a hole. I don't need a whole lot of space. I'm digging a hole and I don't need a whole lot of space. But I do want this to be kind of glassed out. And I'm gonna use this little square here for us to be able to get in here. But honestly, it's so simple to set up. Let me go ahead and get the base wall set up, and then I'm gonna place everything down, and we're gonna build this thing together. So I now have a room sort of placed in. I placed this down just to kind of get an idea of how big this was going to be. But yeah, all I did was place down the endergenic generators. I placed one here, and you go 2 blocks up, and then 2 blocks over, and then 2 blocks, just leaving 2 block gap in between, and then the space in the middle. But we are going to be aligning everything with the pearl injector, just like this. And this is a very simple setup. When I say simple, I mean very simple. I'm going to do my best to explain it. So basically this setup sends an ender pearl from this one to this one, to this one, to this one, to this one, to this one. It goes back and forth, keeps going, keeps going. The thing is these have 2 different states. You need to send an ender pearl into this. It'll launch an ender pearl, and then this will go into sort of like a hibernation state. And you have to get the ender pearls to them at a certain tick interval. But guess what? You don't have to worry about any of that crazy knowledge because I'm going to be doing this all for you. Now, the good thing is it says there's a destination between 2 ticks right here. And then I need to link these. So I just clicked this and I linked it to this one. I need to click this one and link it to this one. Click this one and link it to this one. And so on and so forth until I have these all linked together and they go in a circle. Now, like I said, I'm going to kind of just let you skip all of the crazy nuances to it because it is quite complicated. If you want to look into how complicated it is, you can actually use the RF Tools book, and it tells you all the very, very detailed information about this that you need to know. But all you need to know here is we need some ender monitors, and they need to be facing in this direction. They're going to be placed just like this with the orange arrow facing into the next one, just like that. If you need to rotate these, you can use your wrench. But if you look in the proper area, like this right here, if I look on this corner, it's actually going to face the arrow this way, as you can see. But you can just right click it with this to pop it off, or you can click it to rotate it. So we need all these set just like so. And then after that, we're also needing another ender monitor that's going to go on this one facing out. So this is what you should have as far as ender monitors go. Now, as far as sequencers, these are going to be attached. Also, the orange arrow pointing in the same direction as the other was. We're going to get these sequencers going all around just like so. Now, there are going to be other sequencers. We're going to have a sequencer that is going to be on the outside here with the orange arrow facing in to this and this one. Now, these inner ones, they're pretty simple. We're going to talk about this. Let's pop open the sequencer. Also, sometimes you end up with this issue where these won't open. There we go. But we need this set to 2 or set to 3 and 5 on here, and then once 2. All of these need to be set to 3 and 5 wants 2. So hopefully that'll sink in. 3 and 5 wants 2. 3 and 5 wants 2. All right. So all those inner ones are set. Now let's do the outer ones. These bad boys are going to be set up to 1 and 3 wants 2. So the outer ones, 1 and 3 wants 2. The inner ones are going to be 3 and 5 wants 2. So we need to keep that in mind. The timer here are all these pearl injectors, by the way. They also need to be set to pearl fired. Every single one of them set to pearl fired. Just like that. And there we go. All of them are nice and set up. And then we also need a timer. This is going to be the thing that basically when something goes wrong, because eventually the pearls will die out. And when one does, we need to basically refire a pearl and reset everything. And that's what this is going to do. So to do that, we are going to have a timer. And the timer is going to be set to 30 seconds. By the way, this is like a tried and true setup here. It's been used so many times. I've used it several times. I even have a video from like 4 years ago where I built the same setup. It's so tried and true. It works. It's great. Now, the final step is probably the hardest part. I'm just joking. It's not hard at all. We literally just need to apply redstone, as you can see, like that, just around here. And we are going to send redstone to this. And then I do have an elevator here. I don't think that's going to matter. Can I still use it? Yeah, I still can. And then we need to go into the pearl injector. And then we need to line up with the sequencers. And wouldn't you know it, this whole thing is set up. All we have to do is provide this with an ender pearl, in which you can hopper into this, by the way. But I'm going to put them in here, and let's see if this works. So, there we go. It fired. It's working. As soon as you see it go red, you know that it has stopped working. And so that one, it stopped working. Sometimes it will stop, but the good news is, when we click on these, we can see how much power is building up, and there is a buffer here. So some of these are producing like 2,000 RF per tick. But once it gets going like this, it's pretty good. And it doesn't use all that many ender pearls. And yeah, that's basically it. So that's generating like 2,000. That one's generating 2,000, 2,000. So we're generating over 8,000 RF per tick here on average. This one's doing 4,000, which is pretty nice. And you can see it's building up. Each one of these, though, we need to get power out of this. So I think we're going to be moving to high voltage cabling. Unfortunately, it's really dangerous, but we should be pretty good to move the high voltage cable without me actually touching it. I should be able to get that moved around pretty easily through the walls. Now I need to set this up right here. This is going to basically save us some ender pearls. So my plan is to have a power monitor, monitor the power, have it set to 80 and 100%. It says redstone is emitted when the power level is above the minimum percentage and below the maximum percentage. So I have it set to the maximum 100% and 80%. So when it falls below 80%, the redstone signal should turn off. And then I'll extend this redstone to this. And that should reach. I might have to, yeah, I'm going to have to use a repeater to boost this signal, so that way hopefully it reaches all the way over here. It is still pulsing, and I don't think that it will send an ender pearl here. Hold on, because it still has a redstone signal, so it should bypass the pulse. Yeah, so long as it's bypassing the pulse, actually I probably don't even need this, because I just need this to be powered. Yeah, as you can see, it's still pulsing, but it's still redstone powered. So yeah, we will not see any more go. Now, as soon as this drops below 80%, that's when we should see more ender pearls start to be fired, which is good. And then we'll be able to save on ender pearls. Hopefully this works like that. I just got to kind of dress up the area back and get it set up the same way I wanted it. So I've done some rune crafting, and yes, this costed a lot of vault diamonds. It costed me 8 vault diamonds because each one of these runes required 2 a piece. Ouch. Same with the lust. Luckily, I have all of these. If I just keep like these going, then I don't have to keep crafting them, thankfully, for these expensive runes. But you may be wondering what I'm making. Well, I'm going to be making the Vinculotus. Vinculotus, I think that's how you pronounce it. And this flower prevents Endermen from teleporting, and we're going to be using this to our advantage because we do have a mob farm that we're keeping up and running with Botania. So why not use this and do something that is quite cursed? So let's go ahead and toss all of this in. So we need this and this, and then this and this and this. And now I can toss in 1 seed, and there we go. I did turn off my refill mechanism, but I can just go ahead and fill it back up. And yeah, we're going to do the same thing. So we're going to right click with an empty hand, toss the seed in, and now we have 2 of these beautiful flowers. So I'm going to need some grass. I'm going to go ahead and use this for now. And I need to place one in here. I'm thinking right here would be a good spot. We can go ahead and place another mystical flower, and bam, this is going to prevent Endermen from teleporting. Now, the cool part about it is it prevents Endermen from teleporting even in water. I know that sounds ridiculous, but it does work. Let's go ahead and get this. Yeah, it's incredibly loud over here, by the way. If I go into options and sound, I can actually turn down the blocks. That'll help reduce it a little bit. So let's go ahead and get this set up. I need torches just so I can see a little bit better. Right now it's wither skeletons. I'm fine with those. But what I need to do is sort of get in here, and I need to place this AntiTeleportation flower basically right here. And let's see, I can place this and then place this, and that should hopefully prevent them from teleporting. Now, I do have the water up here, and honestly, I should probably remove all this water. With all the water removed, because it was only in the 4 corners, that was actually, I'm glad I did it that way. We can change this spawner over to Enderman. So now Enderman should start spawning. And the weird thing is, the crazy thing about this, oops, did not mean to do that. The weird thing about this, that's really cursed, is the Endermen, well, they don't care about the water anymore. Yeah. Yeah. And they should teleport, or they shouldn't be teleporting. They are teleporting. They shouldn't be. And they'll eventually teleport, hopefully, through that plate. They are doing some weird stuff, aren't they? Huh. Interesting. Maybe that flower being right there is not the best thing in the world. They are doing some weird stuff. I'm actually going to test this out. Let's go back to our home base, and let's just see if they're actually landing where they're supposed to and teleporting to this. Okay, so they landed there, teleported. Okay. It is working. They are staying there. Okay, so that's good. And I think this is high enough. You know, I am going to break this flower, and I'm going to test this out real quick. Did my hopper hawk? Where did my hopper hawk go? My flower's here, and my hopper hawk disappeared. So I did end up getting everything figured out. So I have my hopper hawk, this here. I lowered the flower 1 block on my other farm, and it seems to be helping with the craziness that was going on. And as you can see, it seems to be working just fine. Now, the only other thing I did was I added a pipe to the bottom of this. Now, this right here is a trash can. It's just basically filtering, but it was for my other farms. This does not need a filter for anything because it's just producing straight up ender pearls. And the good news is they're just getting piped right into here. And because we have this turned off at the moment, because power is not draining, we're just storing ender pearls, and that's going to be basically how this works. I mean, we're going to, for the most part, just be storing ender pearls, and our experiencers being converted into bottles. And so this is basically ready to go. I mean, this is a done farm. We have power now. The only thing I have to do now is, well, route power. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to be routing power up here. It's going to be kind of interesting how I'm planning on doing this. I think I'm going to run it. I need to run it somewhere off to the side and then run some cables. But yeah, we got to switch to HV, high voltage cabling. That's our main energy piping system. So high voltage is going to require aluminum for this, and then insulating glass for our relays. Everything else is the same. And then we need steel wire, which we have steel, and aluminum wire. All of this fairly easy to obtain, and we can even get it from villagers. So I'm about to turn this area right here into the danger zone, because all it takes is literally for me to touch these cables and I am dead. So inside here is all wired up. I have this running up and it runs up. As you can see, there are some Endermen in there. They are teleporting. I realize this actually takes quite a bit of mana to stay running properly, but it does work. These guys are going to most indefinitely die. Very unfortunate, but that's just what's going to happen. And let's go ahead and hook this up, because as you can see, it's running and running into that. Yeah, this is going to be fun, but I do not need to touch this wire. That would kill me. And any of these wires I'm about to set up could possibly kill me as well. Let's run that to there. Look at that. It's going to instantly kill off the Enderman. And we should see this potentially kicking back on. No? So yeah, I'm going to have to check on this. So once this falls below, like I said, 80%, then we'll know. Yeah, I do not want to touch that unless I'm wearing this very specific armor set. Yeah, this is working, which means we should now have enough power to technically power that creative flight, potentially throughout our entire base. Before setting all this up, I'm definitely going to take my dimensional cells and infuse them. Yeah, they definitely need to be infused, because what this will do is this is going to reduce the cost, because it does have like a range cost, but it also will increase the RF per tick output, which is what we're kind of being held back with these basic tier ones. The simple one has a small like max output. I don't know if it's like 2500 RF per tick max output, but it's a lot lower than these other ones. It used to say on the tooltip what their max output was. I mean, it also shows their storage. Is that right there? Showing the max output? So max is, that is not the RF per tick output right there on the energy. Do not believe that is correct. That is the max storage, because each one only holds that much. Because right now, yeah, we only have 2, so that's half a mil. So yeah, but yeah, I don't remember what the actual transfer rate is. That's what's important. And we can't actually see that number, which is interesting. Aha! So I did find the transfer. So the lowest tier dimensional cell holds 250,000 RF and can input or output up to 1,250 RF per tick. And of course, this speed can be boosted via infusion. Unfortunately, I just don't know what the infusion boost is. But at least it'll give us a little bit more, because yeah, that's a really low number for that base cell. We could be technically going direct if I really wanted to. I think probably direct power interface would be the best way, I think, to charge and keep our flight throughout our whole base. Yeah, this probably needs direct input from our battery down below, which is generating like well over 8,000 RF per tick, because yeah, no wonder we can't power this thing to go any further than a certain amount, is because yeah, it just simply, we don't have enough power coming from this cell to get to it. So now for the fun, this should be pretty nice now. So all I have to do is definitely tap into this. So we'll have full power now. This is going to be way better. My only concern is potentially running out of ender pearls. I don't want to step this up too much. I think we'll be fine. But yeah, it's completely full. The only thing I can do is definitely increase the radius to maybe like 50 or 60. I think 60 would probably be good. And I think that's a pretty good level. Like, I don't need flight down here, but having flight up here and potentially to the tree, I don't know if this will reach the tree or not. Like 60 radius is quite a bit. We'll find out if I like fall. But I can go up to Y level 100, which is more than enough for flying around the base. Yeah, this is like more than enough. Okay, so it does cut off. 60 is still not far enough. So yeah, I think this is still better than nothing. I love the fact that I can fly around the base now. Oh, we can get around so much faster. The only thing left to do, I think now, is to set up a redstone transmitter and receiver. So the transmitter sends out the signal and the receiver receives it. So if I place a transmitter down, I should be able to link it to this, pick this up, and then set up a redstone signal that is going to this so we can turn it on and off. Because I don't want this always running. You know, that seems like kind of a bad idea, is to like always have this running. So let's set up the transmitter to the receiver. No, the receiver is the one that I want up there. Let's see if I can get to it. Oop. So yeah, I definitely need the receiver up here. And let's rotate that. There we go. Now it's sent to the proper way. And then what I want is this is going to be set to off to activate. On, let's see, off to activate on a switch. I want to use this switch, so I don't know exactly how this will work. So on, does that give a redstone signal? I would assume down gives a redstone signal. So off to activate. We want on to activate. No, off to activate. So off to activate would probably make this work. I know it's such a tiny little thing, but I want to see if this will work. This will be kind of cool. Let's jump up here, and I need to find a place to put this switch. This is going to be like our power switch. Is there a good place to hide this? This wall has a chest here. I mean, I could set this up. I wanted to set it up in a nice little discreet place. Let's see. This is honestly about as discreet as it's probably going to get. So yeah, we have a little switch. And when it's on, we have flight now. If I flip it, why do we still have flight? Let's check this real quick and just make sure. So this is set to off to activate. Okay, so I noticed that the flight went away. Off to activate. I want on to activate because right now it's emitting a signal. Is that right? I don't want the bottom to be... That turned it on. I need that to be the opposite. Aha. I had it right. Off to activate. So it is off. It is on right now with the light switch flicked up and then flicked down. It will shut off. It just takes a moment for the effect to wear off. It gives you like a little bit of a buffer, but it will shut off and it's perfect. So that way we can shut it off when we don't need it. So that way we're not worried about power. And my goodness, you guys are probably yelling at me. Let's grab an emergency carrot. So I can eat. Everyone's screaming at me. But yeah, that works. And as you can see, flight is off. And we don't have to worry about it. Ah, this is nice. This is super nice. Well, I'm in the base. Flight. Turn it off when I don't need it. On-demand flight. So before we end today's episode, I have one more trick up my sleeve. And I just want to show this for those of you who've made it this far. All I need is a sunflower. You may know it's raining right now. And this is something you can actually automate with Botania, and I've been waiting for it to rain to show you this. This little guy right here, so sad. I know. It's a Teru Bozu. That's how I would say it. Yeah, this is a little character. You can actually look this up. Does have some actual like spiritual relation stuff. But yeah, if you give it a sunflower, it'll make the rain go away. And this thing does emit a redstone signal, so you can automate it. And then it's happy whenever the rain's gone. It's so cute. I love this little thing. And it's a great way to stop rain. And you can infinitely stop the rain by, like I said, setting up a little redstone system. I'm not super worried about it right now, but it is something that you can do. And I recommend, you know, kind of playing with that. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Of course, if you did, be sure to check out the Discord, discord.gg/ChosenArchitect. And of course, hang out over there. We have some awesome stuff. Also, while you're at it, you might as well check out the live stream. I will be live streaming over on Twitch at the time of this video going live, so be sure to check that out. It's twitch.tv/ChosenArchitect. But of course, guys, I want to give a huge shout out to the sponsor of today's video. And that, my friends, is going to go to Oxygen. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your amazing support, by the way, over on the Discord. Not just becoming a Discord premium member, not any premium member, but a diamond tier premium member. Oh my goodness. Of course, showing that support above the rest. Thank you so much for your amazing support. And guys, like I said, join the Discord. I'd love to see you over there. I do hang out there all the time. And of course, check out the live stream. And I hope to see you in the next video. Click that subscribe button, comment down below, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. If you didn't, well, there's no more dislike button. I mean, there is, but probably anybody will see if you dislike. But anyways, thank you guys so much. I'll see you in the next one. And as always, thanks for watching.